overemphasize, especially because we're still in the throes, still dealing with it, still in the heat of insecurity. Back in the day, for those of us who lived in the Southwest, when we heard about issues of insecurity, we thought it was something that was just significant to a part of the country, but now that it is streaming in to the Southwest, obviously everybody's not now awake and talking about the issue of insecurity, and that's why on Beyond the Surface we're going to dig a little deeper onto the issues of insecurity and some of the key elements, some of the issues obviously that breed insecurity. Insecurity in recent times has become a weed that seems to grow fast across the country, Nigeria. And so we're going to look at the key factors. In the news this morning, I saw a headline. The headline said over 23 million Nigerians are jobless. Unemployment rate now 33.3%. That is according to the National Bureau of Statistics, indicating that the responsibility for feeding the 205 million estimated Nigerian population fell on only 46.4 million people at the end of 2020. Now, the Q4 2020 unemployment report, NBS explained that the economically active or working age populations between 15 to 64 years of age between October and December 2020 was over 122 million, which was 4.3% higher than the figure recorded in Q2 2020. However, the total number of persons in labor force, that is people within the ages 15 to 64 who are able and willing to work, was estimated to be just above 69 million. The total number of people in employment, that is people with jobs, during the reference period was just over 46 million people. Of this number, just over 30 million were full-time employed, meaning worked 40 plus hours per week, while just over 15 million were underemployed, that is working between 20 to 29 hours per week. The figure is 20.6% less than the people in employment in Q2 2020. Now, the unemployment rate during the reference period, that is Q4 2020, was 33.3%, an increase from the 27.1% recorded in Q2 2020. The underemployment rate declined from 28.6% in Q2 2020 to 22.8%. During the reference period, the national unemployment rate rose from 27.1% in Q2 2020 to 33.3% in Q4 2020, while the underemployment rate decreased from 28.6% to 22.8%. Now, a combination of both the unemployed and underemployed rate for the reference period gave a figure of 56.1%. This means that 33.3% of the labor force in Nigeria, or just over 23 million persons, either did nothing or worked for less than 20 hours a week, making them unemployed by the definition, NBS definition in Nigeria. When we're talking about insecurity, and a lot of people often throw unemployment as one of the key factors that contribute to insecurity in Nigeria. Then there are many other factors that contribute to insecurity in Nigeria, which obviously we must look at as well. Nigeria is actually called an LEDC, which is abbreviation for less economically developed country. And countries like this are considered less economically developed due to their low standards of living, lack of industrial development, and a low human development index. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria is obviously part of it as well, Bangladesh, etc. Now, in contextualizing the causes of terrorism in Nigeria, it is pertinent to point out that many years of poor governance also contribute. Militarism and abandonment of, they say, the Niger Delta and northern regions by the government, and the conspiracy between the managers of the state and the local elite who connive with international bourgeoisie. Like I said, there are plenty of factors, and some people will say unemployment is right at the top. Some people will say that corruption is right there, bad governance, and quite a few that I'm sure that can come to mind as well when we're talking about insecurity in Nigeria. When we talk about insecurity, there's so many factors. I bumped into this interview online which was done on TVC by Captain Aliyu Umar, and part of what he was saying jumped out at me, which I will play, and I hope that this will come out clear. And one of the things he mentioned during this interview was talking about how we have a fundamental problem, because the lady had asked, how about the service chiefs, etc. This is an interview granted yesterday, and I talked about how no matter where you bring, who you bring to where, as long as we're in this fundamental quagmire, we'll forever have a problem. So I'll just play that portion of the interview real quickly, and then we'll come back and I'll bring on my analysts who will I'll be calling in to talk about this insecurity issue in the country. Here it goes.
It's not about your service chief. Ministers, your senators, your presidents, you name it. If you like, go and bring service chiefs from the United States with the kind of leaders we have in the House, the executives and the legislators and the judiciary. Nobody can do anything. So it's not about that. It's about leadership. You don't have people who are willing simply because they sleep at home soundly, probably their children, and those who elected them are not bothered. The day Nigerians decide from those whom they elected, don't give them results. They change them, they remove them and put new ones. So it's not about service chiefs or police chiefs. Go and bring all the service chiefs on the planet together. Let them come and work here with this kind of mindset we have amongst politicians. You will fail.
But as it is, Captain. Okay. All right. That portion I wanted you to listen to. And as you contribute later on, I'd like to bear that part in mind as well. All right. So today we're talking about some of the causes of insecurity, some of the factors that contribute to insecurity, especially in Nigeria. He's talked about how, the governance is a key issue. And so until we become a people who are very aware and are able to vote out, the people who are not functioning, then we'll continue to recycle the same people who put us in this, in this mess that we're in. We've talked about some of the factors which include unemployment. He's mentioned bad governance, lack of quality education or training is also part of it. Lack or inadequate basic infrastructures, corruption and corrupt practices of government officials. That's also another huge factor. Arrant poverty in the midst of affluence, ethnic superiority, religious superiority, domination, and exploitation. All right, very quickly, I am going to be talking to a gentleman who's a legal practitioner, property consultant. He's a chartered mediator and a public affairs analyst. We'll be talking about this insecurity issue, and I'd definitely like to hear his views. I've watched a few videos with regards to this topic today, and I'm definitely going to be sharing some of the thoughts I've found on some of these videos. My analyst is here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Chimeze. How are you this morning?
I'm fine.
All right, fantastic. I'm not sure if you were listening before I brought you on, but it was one of the...
Yes, I was listening.
Yes. He had made mention of the fact that, no matter what, we have a system that has a huge problem, and that he's mentioned how the governors are the problem. We have a leadership problem, and so no matter who or where or what you're bringing into the system is a problem on it. So what are your thoughts on what he said there real quickly before we go on?
I agree totally with him, because the issue at hand is something on national security. And we know that it is the premise for national growth and development of nations. We know that when we have a peaceful country which will attract foreign investors, and domestic investors will be also able to go about their businesses. So he was perfectly right. The factors he enumerated as regards insecurity. Number one, he mentioned unemployment.
Yes.
He also mentioned bad governance, lack of quality education and training. You will notice that he also hyped on corrupt practices of government and government officials.
Right.
And the display of this with impunity. Of course, this thing has its own ways of causing insecurity in the country.
Right.
So I agree with him.
Right. Now,
there are also other things.
Absolutely, other factors, yes, and we will. But I wanted to talk about how I think this situation of of insecurity is something that the whole world is grappling with, just like how we're grappling COVID. So would you say that insecurity, there's obviously more, it's not that there's more in Nigeria, there's insecurity everywhere, but it's just that our government has struggled to grapple with what has been happening here. Like this morning, we're talking about how in the last administration in Oyo State, for example, some people had touted that their pride was the fact that they were able to stem insecurity. But someone had argued that, but we didn't have insecurity then like we do now. So what are your thoughts on that? Is it that there's more insecurity now, that we're just struggling to tackle the insecurity?
The last government in the state did quite well, commendably well on insecurity. However, if you also look at it, that the challenges we are facing now is more than what the last administration faced. Now we have kidnapping, we have banditry, we have herdsmen clashes. Well, we're happy that the 1 million boys and that one has reduced. But if you look at it, there are factors that have aided the current challenges we have now. Have you observed that we have heightened insecurity, which also includes human and drug trafficking? Look at our porous borders. Look at the infiltration of illegal aliens, arms and ammunition. Just notice the trend in the last 2 years. Definitely, these things will surely aid insecurity. Where you don't have checks, you have people just coming to the country. There's some, like, let's use Oyo State. There's about some local governments that you have direct access to Benin Republic. And these borders are porous, unmanned. So with what you have there, how else do you expect that there won't be the challenges that we have now?
Absolutely. And would you say that it is fair to this administration? Obviously, oftentimes we see them talk the talk, but people accuse them of not acting enough. Is it that they're not acting enough, or they're not acting at all when it comes to security issues?
They are not acting enough. I saw the composition of the Security Committee yesterday, and I must align my opinion with Plateau, as he said this morning. That composition is badly arranged. What are you doing? What committee are you setting up without the Commissioner of Police? Or what committee are you setting up without a member of the SSS? Definitely, the state has to do something, but you need these people there. It's their primary duty. So they are not doing enough. All we are getting is talk. We need action.
Right.
They need to walk their talk, because this thing is snowballing. If it's not handled, it could boil into full-scale crisis. Absolutely. And we don't want that. Nobody, we can't afford it.
Absolutely. Now, we've mentioned different factors that contribute to insecurity, Chimezie, and we've mentioned unemployment. Poverty is also another huge factor that contributes to insecurity. Unemployment, poverty, bad governance. Do you think that there's a hierarchy to this list, and that which one should receive more focus? So should the government be looking at insecurity? Should they be looking at eradicating poverty first? What do you think that there's a hierarchy to these things?
I think the government should really look at unemployment. The unemployment rate is alarming. I believe when people are employed, they would have their hands full, and it's going to reduce idle time. Now, insecurity itself is perpetrated by human beings, and these human beings are idle. If they have work, they would be doing something. Now, unemployment, the question we should ask is, whose duty is it to provide the jobs or the enabling environment for these jobs? Is the government. Are they providing it? No.
But some people argue that it's not actually the government's role to provide jobs, but to provide an enabling environment. What side are you on? Yes.
Yes, policy. Look at, if you have been following CAC issues in the last week, discover different policies being put up by CAC. The only claim is of doing business, but there is no ease in doing business. The policies on ground are not helping businesses at all. Yes, provide the labor environment. You ask us to go to the farms. By the farms, the herdsmen crisis nothing is being done. Now, recently talk about settling herdsmen without settling the farmers who have been affected. And I tell you, if the agricultural sector is brought back to life in this country, we are going to solve more than half of our problems.
Yes.
It will increase our GDP. There will be more jobs. There will be associated jobs, not directly at the farms. Whatever is produced has to be processed. And there will be industries set up. And one person being employed takes care of about 5%. The chain of, in Nigeria, we know the chain, immediate family, dependents, etc.
Absolutely. I mean, they need to stop paying leave service to agriculture because there's so many factors to agriculture now. Look at the safety of farmers, the kind of equipment. I mean, if you're talking to people, asking people to go back to the farm, to go back to cutlass and hoe, you're obviously, I mean, that's a huge joke because the world has moved way past cutlass and hoes. There are lots of equipments that cut out, all of the manual labor that, we still do in this part of the world.
We've gone beyond that. If we're still looking at cutlass and hoe, then that's just for subsistence agriculture.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to help the country.
Absolutely. Now, just last month, President Muhammadu Buhari said the administration's ambitious policy of lifting 100 million Nigerians out of poverty, because I was saying poverty is one of the key factors contributing to this issue of insecurity. He says that the administration's ambition to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty did not come by accident or something they just bumped into, but a deliberate one that will be pursued with remarkable grit and determination. I mean, he just said this last month, but 100 million, a lot of people have said, is way too ambitious. What are your thoughts on this?
The president is just talking the talk. He's not doing anything. We are not seeing any action back up. 100 million.
What kind of actions are we looking for? What are we looking for him to do?
His big view. Look at how long it took for him to change the security chiefs. The current IG it should have been retired. He's still there doing what? You need to revamp the security system. Start from that. Change everybody. Bring in fresh blood. Bring in fresh ideas. Don't let us just see you talking. Let us feel the impact of the work you are doing. Not media team coming to tell us different things. Look at the industry. Look at fuels. You want to bring people out of poverty, and you are increasing the price of fuel. You promised to build refineries, one refinery per year. 6 years down the drain. They are like, let me not go there, please. Let me just not go there. But the fact is that he is just talking. We are yet to see it. And we have just about 2 years to go.
Okay. All right. For those who are listening to us, we're talking about the factors contributing to insecurity. It looks like the headlines on unemployment and, the rising case of unemployment. We've looked at the president's ambition to take 100 million out of poverty. But in recent times as well, a lot of people, if this is not action, then I don't know what is, where the president had ordered a shoot on site, Chimezie. I'm talking to an analyst, Chimezie, in the studio this morning, and we're looking at some of this past headlines. So, I mean, him ordering, and restating a shoot on site order for illegal possessors of AK-47. This was news that came out just about last week or thereabouts, where the president emphasized that security chiefs have received marching orders to go harder on criminals, including to shoot anyone found illegally with AK-47, which is where he was speaking at a meeting. What are your thoughts on that? Is that not enough action? Or if that is not action, what would you call that?
It's a fire brigade action.
Okay.
Because if you're looking at, yes, it's good, shoot on sight. But there are better ways to handle this matter. Now that they know that they are to be shot on sight, then they too will look for ways to hide the weapons and bring it out when they want to use it to wreak havoc. So I don't really buy that idea. There are better ways. Why not first check the borders? Block the importation of arms and ammunition, the movement of illegal people, aliens. If you can check that, the causes, then with that, you can now address the issue of proliferation of small arms. Is it just AK-47? There are other rifles too. There are other rifles that you have in the hands of these bandits, terrorists, Boko Haram, kidnappers. They even have more firepower than local police force. So in that situation, they are looking at AK-47. They will not look for better policies and better ways to minimize the carnage.
Now, I like to look beyond what the government, obviously the government has its role to play, but I believe that oftentimes we, the people, have our role to play as well. So when it comes to insecurity, what role do you think that the people ought to be playing as well to partner with the governor to make sure that we at least reduce the spate of insecurity?
I believe as Nigerians, we need to have a sense of duty because if insecurity has individuals, we are the first people to bear the brunt of insecurity. So I believe we should also help in intelligence gathering. I would wish the government to create a platform where intelligence gathering will be collated. If we notice anything, it's our duty to call the attention of the security apparatus to it. The notice movement, anything that could lead to insecurity. You have a means of intelligence gathering. Aside that, I will place another bulk of blame on moral and religious education. The utterances of some of our men of God is appalling. It's not proper. They should use the altar to preach peace and not preach war. I expect that pastors, imams, religious leaders should encourage people to have this sense of duty, so that when you notice anything, that should be a way. I know the police force, there are sometimes you report and you end up finding yourself in trouble, and that's made a lot of people draw back. But we can't continue this way.
Okay.
We have to take up action. We have to take up that decision and do our best for the country.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chimezie. I wish I had more time, but thank you very much for your time here with me on the program, Beyond the Surface. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and contributions. Do have a nice day.
Right.
All right, that was public affairs analyst Chimezie, who's joined me in the studio today to talk about the rising spate of insecurity and the factors that contribute to it. We know that we all have our part to play. When we come back, hopefully we'll be able to take a few telephone calls so you can share your thoughts and contributions to our topic today. Don't go away.
OneXBet don't land with big ogbonge odds and sharp cash out method. You will like sports. This now your big opportunity to make better money on top all your bets. We be bigger. My Niger people, I beg, make una no sleep on this one. Make you rush now. Go visit our website on onexbet.ng. Don't forget to use the promo code BETNG and you go get 200% bonus on your first deposit. OneXBet. Bet we're there for everybody.
It is time for celebration. 30 years busting with goodness. No challenge can ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate it. Busting with so much greatness. Enjoy our world of
Capture your world in stunning detail with the new Nokia 5.4. With a powerful 48MP quad camera and advanced video recording, giving you total creative control. Its generous 2-day battery life means your phone is there for you and your family when you need it most. Whether it's for work or play, you can see more on the 6.39 HD Plus screen. Nokia smartphones. Trusted, always secure, and built to last.
Bisola, can you imagine if you just win 100 million naira? 100 million naira? First, that will change my name from Bisola to Bisola Mele.
Hey, Bisola Mele.
I say, before you say payment, babes, I don't start that shoe business where I don't dream of things.
I say, girl.
Before you know it, babes, I'm gonna open like 4 or 5 extra branches for different parts of town where Sengale.
No time to check time.
Next thing, my business is gonna involve because they travel, they go supply shoes for different parts of the whole wide world.
Remember me for your kingdom.
Turn your daydreams into reality and stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira every week with Glow Rewards. Over 70,000 customers have already received cash rewards, and you can be next. Simply dial *777*6#, then start recharging and start earning big. Visit glowworld.com/Glow Rewards for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Don't let power outage interrupt your life. Genos inverters come on automatically during power outage, so you enjoy continuous power without interruption. Get Genos and enjoy power without noise and without manual changeover. Call 0700-111-2233. That is 0700-111-2233. Genos inverters and batteries, energizing lives.
Bros. I beg, I feel see careless 5K for there. For where? Oh, my careless 5K. Now Echo Bank straight. Gentlemen Association.
Hi! EcoBank Super Rewards Orlando. Save 5,000 naira for your EcoBank account for 30 days or open new EcoBank account with 5,000 naira deposit. And you will be one of the 50 people who go collect 25,000 naira a woof every week for 4 months. Plus, 4 people go win 1 million naira grand prize each. To gather more advantage, collect and link your EcoBank card to *326# or EcoBank Mobile. EcoBank Super Rewards. Now from March to July 2021. Terms and conditions apply. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Excuse me? Yes, I'm talking to you. You who always wants to give your family the best things. I know you'll love this exciting DSTV decoder bundle offer. Instead of 18,600 naira, you can get a new DSTV HD decoder plus 1 month DSTV confirmed subscription for a lower price of 9,900 naira. Yes, you heard me right. A brand new DSTV HD decoder plus 1 month DSTV confirmed subscription for a lower price of 9,900 naira. If you have always wanted to give your family amazing entertainment, then this is your time. Offer starts from February 1st for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. DSTV Nigeria. It's your moment.
Which number be this one? Hello?
Hello, good evening. I want to introduce you to new cake food extract. Now package you could give you correct artificial nails, French tips, and even the one we could be like all those nails where they use fillings do. If you buy food,
You know a man you call? No be una fault. If no be this Palasa phone, I don't sabi who they call no pick am.
No matter your phone, whether you get data or not, you sabi who they call. Turn up Kulele Mind with MTN who they call. Now 5 naira per day and 15 naira per month. Dial *5058#. Make you enjoy.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Mama Betty tutti garada, oti Betty today. Mama Betty tutti garada, oti Betty today. Àwa ní kadi nínú Ìbàdàn àtọ́jú lówó aṣọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni akọni ọ̀sìn jíjà lálẹ́ bàrà. Rẹ́gísítọ̀ tún ti kójú lówó aṣọ wọ̀lú fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ ṣayẹyẹ. Àti alára tún tà. Different types of fabrics. Kùbíọ́ lace, white lace, dry lace, voice moral lace, fresh lace, Wallis lace, organza lace, àti ìṣèlè head tie. Àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Àwa ní Mama Betty store CWH 65 Fresh Block New Baggy Market Ìbàdàn. Àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wà rèé 070-613-55556 08056097060906813 Gmail wa mama1@gmail.com.
Àwa ní kadi nínú Ìbàdàn àtọ́jú lówó aṣọ.
There are many, there's more than one cause of insecurity, not just in any country. I know that sometimes some people will say that, you're being unfair to Nigeria, because it feels like in recent times, insecurity has been a challenge that everyone is grappling with. Go to countries where, yes, they really do have a grasp on security, even they are facing challenges, So Nigeria is not the only one facing insecurities. And the thing really is that if you fail to plan, you really are planning to fail. I think maybe a problem in Nigeria is not really just that there's insecurity. There's insecurity all across the world. But the point is that when you fail to plan, you are planning to fail, which I believe may be one of our number one issues. It feels like there are people who have been called prophet of doom, because they've seen where we are a long time ago and saying, hey, if we don't put our house in order, this and this may happen. And we call them prophet of doom. And to see those things coming to pass and us still struggling with those things, I think is a scary beat, for the country. But like we're saying today, there's more than one factor. Even though a lot of people say bad governance is one of the key factors that's making this flame burn a lot wider than it really should. Bad governance, if we get a grasp from the leadership point, then, yes, everybody's struggling with insecurity. It's not a new thing. It's something that the whole world is grappling with. But the fact that we're unable to deal with it is because we've always had issues with, bad governance. All right, so I'm going to open the phone lines. I want to hear your thoughts and your views. We've listed a few main issues like unemployment. We've talked about bad governance. Lack of quality education is also a huge factor which promotes insecurity in any country, let alone in Nigeria, where those are the things that we've always grappled with. Hello, good morning. I've got somebody here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Ronke.
Good morning, Reverend Koye. Good to have you here today.
It's a good discussion you are having.
What are your thoughts?
And, your resource person really treated it well.
Thank you very much.
Just yesterday, I highlighted 7 points that will give solution to insecurity in Nigeria. And it should be looked seriously into. The first is to create a peace council. I've been highlighting peace council. You see, with a peace council, the people in government will be able to govern well.
Right.
And the peace commission we look at other areas of agitations, other areas of inflammation that may cause a conglomeration in this country, Nigeria. The second is to promote brotherhood. We are not managing our diversity. Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. We are not one. But we have been clubbed together. We must promote brotherhood. No tribe should be seen as being better than the other. We must promote brotherhood. And the place to promote brotherhood is the Peace Commission. Number 3, we are talking about highways now being terrible. Bring back the highway patrol. We used to have it before.
But we used to complain about them before. We used to complain about them, the highway patrol, and
but
how...
we are going to pick one. Is it security we are going to pick? Or we are going to pick the issue of maybe some corrupt officials who use it for other things. With a highway patrol, we know that at least they will face the job squarely. Leaving that aside, now we have the non-state actors, the OPC, the Amotekun, and the alike. They have a place. Government should encourage them. They should work in harmony with the police. Then government on its part should show sincerity. They should prosecute criminals to deter other people following that path. Look at the issue of elders and farmers. This thing is, they only need to make sure they make the law to work. There are existing law from the Bible.
Oh, what happened there? All right, well, thank you very much, Reverend Koye. I was going to ask him a question, especially with regards to Peace Council. Let's take the herders and farmers, situation, for example. How would the Peace Council, what kind of resolution would we be looking at? Because sometimes you hear arguments from both sides, and obviously, even the herders, as much as you condemn some of the things that they've done, where their cattle goes to people's farms, there are times that they will argue and defend what they're doing. So the Peace Council does sound like a good idea, though. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Ronke.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Dr. Matt. I'm calling from the university.
Dr. Matt.
I need to have a view of mine.
Oh, I can barely hear you. ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes,
Hello?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
I said I want to say something about what I think will help us.
Okay, go ahead.
When government is not sincere,
it's sincerity.
When government is not sincere, we keep having this problem that we have now. If a certain amount is a mass to purchase ammunition, and they refuse to buy them, and nobody is testing, nobody is asking, everybody just kept quiet. We have the state also to ask of assembly, we didn't even call them to order. Since 2017, we said $1 billion was released to buy ammunition. Some aircraft, war aircraft were to be purchased from US, and nothing has been done with it. These people who are in the bush fighting Boko Haram, and the police, the soldiers were expecting to do the fighting for us. They have less ammunition compared to what these people, the bandits themselves have. So when the government is sincere, when you have to buy ammunition, buy be. And give them instructions to find. Don't be tribalistic about it. This issue of kidnapping here and there, they see it more in the north because it has been a cash, it has been a business for them over there. And I tell you, it's because they will massive event. Nowhere in the world they will mount bandits. They don't romance criminals. When you give them instructions and they refuse to follow, you attack them, you fight them. What stop us from combing the forest and push those in that forest away? You hear the new bikes to kidnap and where they take them to is in the forest. Then I also want to say something about the youth. The children we are giving back, especially in the north, they don't send them to school. They follow them everywhere. The government should please over there ensure that in this compulsory education, then after that, give them a skill.
Absolutely. But we know why some of them keep these children uneducated. So they can be easy to control. So they can be easy to control and be used for all sorts of things.
I'm telling you, if they are educated to some extent, and you have a skill, even if it is cobbler, even if it is tailoring, if you have a skill, you will do it. And most of the reasons why you see you have a lot of young people in these bands because it gives them money.
Absolutely. Yes.
They don't get the chunk of the money that they get from kidnapping. They don't get small, neither. Where I'm going is that the government is sincere, honestly speaking. The government is still lying and hello?
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, if the government is still lying to us, do you know that the first kidnap, hello?
Yes. Hello? Oh, sugar. All right, this text says, good morning. Corruption, dishonesty, and indiscipline are the bane of these problems in the country. How do you bring people out of poverty when most of our income is spent on recurrent expenditure? We're our own enemies. Charles Omiano Church, thank you. The doctor that just called now talked about insincerity, and I think that's also a major factor. I mean, just Friday, it was just last week, controversy ensued after the NSA, that's the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired, of course, alleged that $1 billion funds meant to purchase arms to tackle insurgency during the ex-service chief's tenure got missing. This comes over a month after the ex-service chief's resignation and replacement by the president, President Muhammadu Buhari. The ex-service chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayo Mioloni Shaki, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, they resigned from their positions on January 26th after intense calls by Nigerians over their perceived failure to tackle widespread insecurity across the country. They were retired and immediately replaced by the president, who thereafter designated them as non-career ambassadors. However, Monguno, in an interview with the Hausa service of the British Broadcasting Corporation early Friday, alleged that neither the funds nor the weapons the ex-service chiefs were meant to buy could be traced. And according to him, the president will soon order a probe into the matter. In response to a question on why the Buhari regime was foot-dragging in the fight against banditry, Monguno said the president has done his best by approving huge sums of money for the purchase of weapons, but the weapons were not bought. They are not here. Now he has appointed new service chiefs. Hopefully they will devise some ways. This was recanted. It says, I'm not saying the former service chiefs diverted the money, but the money is missing. Okay, we don't know how, and nobody knows for now. I believe Mr. President will investigate where the money went. However, in a statement by his officer later on Friday, NSA recanted his earlier allegations, saying he was quoted out of context. While he admitted granting the BBC interview under reference, he denied saying funds meant for the purchase of arms had gone missing. Just highlighting that story to back up the issue of insecurity that we always find. Sometimes their statements are confusing. It is good morning today, good night the next second. And if we can have people who are committed to change, committed to changing, how things have been, committed to changing corruption, committed to changing and providing for the people. I don't know if it's as much rocket science as they make it to be. I know that governance is hard, trust me, but I feel that with commitment and, actually having the commitment to do the right thing can be done for the people. All right, let's take one more call. The number to call is 080-5699-8678. That's the number to call, or you can text to that number as well. If you'd like to contribute real quickly to our talk on the factors promoting insecurity. Factors promoting insecurity. And unless we've laid a lot of blame on the government has a lot to do in eradicating poverty, in providing good governance, providing employment, or some people will argue at least, a conducive environment where people can flourish. For example, providing an environment where people can flourish. I was listening to an interview this morning. It was granted a few months ago, actually, but I was talking about how, for example, if you want to build a house or start a business, you must pay some people. If you want to put transformer in a place, and these are not government people, these are just people who have, when there's a vacuum, you have people who rise up in that place and start to load it over people. And you know how it is. Sometimes people who have been victimized end up victimizing other people. So you are paying two taxes. As a business person, you're making life harder for people who are the ones providing jobs for the people who you should be caring for. We've talked about how entrepreneurs in this country are the real superheroes. They're the ones providing jobs. The SMEs are the ones providing jobs. And instead of putting policies in place that will make life easier for them, sometimes we just come up with certain policies that just makes times tougher for these people. They are the ones who are making sure that the unemployment rate is not as bad as it could be, with the kind of governance sometimes that we get. You're right. So we should be providing and putting in place policies that will make life easier for them, make life easier so much that they can employ more people. So even if you do argue that government cannot provide jobs, but at least they can provide a conducive environment where people's businesses can flourish. I don't think that is asking for too much. All right, let me go to Twitter and see if we've got any reactions and comments. Would love you to contribute. So if you're still there, do share your thoughts and contributions real quickly. Just got about 2 more minutes and I want to take one call before I go on this topic. Just one more call. So if you want to call in or texting, if it's a text as well, I would definitely love to read it before I go. And if you're on Twitter, do follow us at Splash FM 1055. Follow us at Splash FM 1055. And of course, tweet your reactions and comments. If it doesn't get to me before I go, I will still be reading. So do feel free to share with us. All right now it's 8:46 a.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. And whilst we wait for our last caller, hopefully we can get one last call. If you're having issues trying to get in, please continue to persevere and calling. The network is a little faulty this morning, but do persevere. I'd like to hear your views on our topic on the factors contributing to insecurity. Like I said, we all have our part to play, and if we all play our role, it can be one-ended. If we're playing our role and the government isn't, it cannot be lopsided. We cannot afford to have play a lopsided role. Everybody must play their part in ensuring. Okay, there's a comment on Facebook. All right, thank you very much. Okay, Aziz Abdulmalik Abolaji says the major issue of insecurity is because our leaders continue to recruit criminal elements into our security formation. We can never fight insecurity or any form of security threat with incapable materials we have in our League of Security Forces. Okay, Aziz says security is a global threat, but absolutely can be curbed. Absolutely. I said that whilst when we started the program, to say that this is not something that's just happening in Nigeria. It's happening across the world. It feels like there's a rise in insecurity all across the world. But it is the work that you have done in the past that will and that will determine whether you can handle it or not. It's not something that we have a knee-jerk reaction to. It's preparedness that ensures that we are able to overcome any challenges. All right. So thank you very much for being a part of the program today. We appreciate you listening. And for those who contributed as well, thank you, Charles from Yano Church. Thank you, Reverend Koye. And thank you from the doctor from the university who called in, as well as our Facebook audience. We thank you and we appreciate you for being a part of the program. Until I join you next time, we've got Tifun Tedo coming up at 9 all the way until 10. At 10, we've got much more in store for you. So stay tuned. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. Good morning.
105.5.